And now, FAIRFAX Breakfast Club with your host, Basil Lemba.
Hello, welcome to the FAIRFAX Breakfast Club show. My name is Basil Lemba and I will be your host. The FAIRFAX Breakfast Club show is a weekly program. In this program, we bring you valuable and workable know-how you can use to improve your networking and grow your business. We always start the show with a quote. And here's the quote. We have an icon in the industry. His name is Frank Lloyd Wright, a renowned architect and known worldwide. And there is a book about him. And in there we find this quote. He joined the tennis club, contributed to the local newspapers, competed on horseback at the Chicago Horse Show, and joined the appropriate clubs. All these offered gave him a chance to meet potential clients and receive many projects from that. And with us today in the studio, we have two entrepreneurs who are creating network organizations worldwide. They are Angie Segal and Dobransky. Hello.
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 How are you?
Good. How are you today?
Very good.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Excellent. I wanted to have you on the show because it is something which is quite exceptional, and that you started a networking organization called Original Tuesdays. And from what I understand, you have 12 of those now worldwide. Can you please tell us what made you start the organization and how that organization went from 1 to 12 in a short amount of time?
When we first had the idea for an organization, we were really just having a drink after work and having a conversation about what we wished existed in a networking event. And we just kind of brain dump about we wish this and we wish that, and wouldn't it be great if it was like this? And it dawned on us that we both considered ourselves to be leaders in the community, and so why wouldn't we just start an event like that? Okay. And that was our original thought.
One of the biggest things is several other networking opportunities by chambers and things like that are on different days. They're in different places because they have different members. The idea and the concept behind it was to make it regular. In other words, something that you can count on. You can know that it's always, we started on a third Tuesday. So you know that every third Tuesday there's an event and it's always at the same place.
Gotcha.
It's always at the same time. So you can put it in, you can count on it, you can put it in your calendar months out. So from that we've grown through to additional Tuesdays.
Well, when we first set out, we thought, well, why don't we give it a try? And wouldn't it be great if we could get 100 people? That was our goal, our big, hairy, audacious goal. It would be great if we could get 100 people to show up at this event.
Gotcha.
And so we put it together, and apparently we're much better marketers than we realized. And so at our very first event, we had 177 people show up. And the power went out 5 minutes before the event started.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
And
power was out for
stayed
like 2
out
hours.
for 2 hours.
And the people stayed, and throughout the time, I mean, it was amazing.
And that, funny, that really
Well,
helped.
how would you see the other guy if the power is out?
Well, it was in
Hand
August.
burning, yeah.
It was in August,
Are you
so
kidding me?
Oh,
yeah, it
very
was in
hot.
August, so the sun was up until 9 o'clock or so.
Okay.
We had sunlight because there were windows, and they were handwriting, the checks, and they were serving in paper cups because they couldn't run the dishwasher. But it created buzz. People talked about this great event that they went to with all of these people, and the power went out and nobody stopped networking. And I think that actually really helped to get some ground in the original one, because we got from the 177 to 300 people, in maybe 2 months.
It didn't take long. One of the things that we used was the advent of a lot of social media, using Facebook, LinkedIn, and word of mouth. And we started with a site, Evite, and then we switched everything and have been ever since with Eventbrite on the site. So they've made it easy to go ahead and do it and also post to the social networks. But it caught on like wildfire. I believe people were really looking for something like that to latch on to. And the other thing that's interesting about our events is, and as you've been, there's only first names on your name badges, which forces people not to profile you as a real estate person, as a banker.
Oh, I see.
So people see a first name, it's like, so, Basil, what do you do? So it stimulates the conversation.
Gotcha.
So we had a lot of success right off, and we built a pretty good brand, you know, pretty easily. And Ron's in the print business, you know, I have a big business background, so we understood branding and marketing, and that helped to sort of create our name. And we went along. I mean, we weren't thinking about expanding. This was just something we did on a whim, really, in the beginning. And then I own a franchise that's an international company, and they asked me to speak at their North America conference in Las Vegas. And I, you know, can I speak about anything I want? And they said yes. And I said, well, I'm going to talk about lead generation. And so I did a presentation to 300 business coaches in North America about the idea that if you really want to generate leads for your business, be a leader in your community. And one of the ways to do this is to just start a networking event, you know, help people connect. And I, you know, put it out there to the group and said, if anybody wants to, you know, model our event and start another one, give me a call and we'll, you know, let you be an affiliate of ours. So that's kind of how the first couple got started. Okay. And then we crossed the, you know, the continent barrier when I got another call from Action Coach, and they said, everybody really loved your presentation in Las Vegas. Would you want to do it on a webinar for us? And I said, sure. And I don't even think I understood that it was a global, international webinar. So it, you know, a couple months later, I did a webinar, same topic. You know, if you want to be a leader, start a networking event. And if anybody wants to start one, give me a call. And that's how we got South Africa and Canada.
And while we were waiting, you mentioned, talk about what make the difference, the big difference from your viewpoint in your networking, meaning the mindset in which you went into it.
Yeah, we really went into it to help other people build their business. You know, we're not trying to secretly sell them something. We don't even have sponsors that pay us. You know, we didn't go in here saying, let me figure out how we can make a bunch of money from the business community. We went in and said, hey, we wish this existed and we think other people might too. And why don't we help other people make connections? And so it really was from a spirit of love that said, you know, we're networkers and we're connectors and we like to help people. And so let's just help people. And I think that spirit carries through. And so I think that's really contributed significantly to the success, because there's no hidden agenda. We're not doing one thing in order to sell you something else.
Gotcha.
You know, now, do we make money? Absolutely. At this point, we make money in our individual businesses because people know us.
Gotcha.
But the event is truly designed to help other people make connections.
The interesting part when we start talking, we were at one of our favorite bars, Clyde's Tower Oaks Restaurant up in Rockville, Maryland. And, you know, we saw an event going on that was there, and, you know, they were charging $20 a person to get in and drink tickets, and it was, you know, we got talking about it, and we got talking to the general manager, and I said, wouldn't it be great to have an event, same time, same place, and free? So he says, yeah, that would be good. But the interesting thing is Tuesdays, when you think about the day, Fridays, most people are ready to check out of work, head away, get an early jump on vacation. This area in Washington, you're either going to the beach, Ocean City or something, so Fridays weren't good. Thursday, people are kind of getting ready for Friday, but the two soft nights that were at Clyde's were Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Gotcha.
So we decided to go with a Tuesday, and it's a school night, so be called. But there's not a lot of events on Tuesday. And it's just by chance. We were very, very fortunate and lucky to pick that. I mean, there was no...
And we've stayed true, you know, to our original intention. You know, all this time people keep telling us, you should charge, you should sell sponsorships, there's all these ways you could make money, you should be doing this. And we're like, that's really not our model. You know, we benefit from doing good deeds, because when you do good deeds, you know, the universe pays you back for that. And we don't need to worry about a direct result. You know, the result will come, and we don't want to change our model. We're not going to all of a sudden change a free event to a paid event just so we can put some money in our pocket. It's not really what it's about. It really is us trying to help other people connect. And you know, our communities are stronger when our businesses are stronger.
Definitely.
And if we can help facilitate that, you know, that's a nice legacy to leave behind. So.
I think it really is all about karma. If you're doing good things and you continue to do good things, good things come back to you. It may not be today, tomorrow, it may be a year from now, but it's kind of a takeoff. There was a movie, and it was pay it forward.
Sure.
Okay, so we'll kind of put an L in there and just call play it forward. One of the things that we say is if you like the event, you like what you see here, tell your colleagues, tell your friends. You know, we do have one event that we do yearly. In our first, as we got towards the holiday season, we had the idea to enlist the U.S. Marines in their annual Toys for Tots drive. So I pursued it. Angie kind of thought it was a guy thing, you know, with we started getting the Marines there in
Ron
uniforms
likes the big
and
Marine
stuff.
vehicles.
You know, and they came in with like these huge 6.5-ton trucks, deuce and a half, land assault vehicles. And what we did is we changed, and Clyde's couldn't do the December event because they had all these holiday parties.
Sure.
I'm a member of Country Club, Norbeck Country Club, so, and it was an opportunity to move it to the club, a little bit more in the area, open area, plenty of parking, free parking, but there was a price of admission, and that was to bring a toy. And the joy of being able to hand and see all the different toys that came, and to supply it to the children that don't have toys. There's a real long story about how we had some problems and had some challenges and speed bumps trying to get the Marines involved, but they've been really gung-ho on the whole thing, and it's great.
I think the community really, they love bringing the toys. We should, if, you know, if we could store them, we should almost do it every time, because it makes the business people feel good that they're giving something back. And you know, people don't recognize we live in one of the richest areas in the country and arguably the world, and the amount of toys that the Marines give out, I think it's 30,000 kids in this area that receive toys.
Montgomery County.
You know, that receive toys from Toys for Tots. I mean, that's how big the need is. And so, you know, we're happy to be a major contributor to that just by, you know, collecting toys. So, you know, every once in a while we'll throw a new good idea like that, but we still stay true to our original model, which is just trying to help business people connect and do business and make the community stronger that way.
Wow.
One of the other things that we started and we're still trying to get a foothold with is, you know, with memberships to the organization itself, Original Tuesdays. And as a member, you enjoy certain benefits that other regular people who are invited don't. And what you get is some advance notice. Angie puts out a business tip of the week, and in addition to that, we also do a weekly email and we highlight that member. There's a member of the week. We also formed Angie came up with the name, and it's called the Coterie Society, which is kind of a unique group. So what we do with the members, and this is member-only events, we have team building. So we're doing, the first one was, how do you define a strategic partner? How do you find one? What is a good strategic partner? In addition to that, we're talking about getting together on a Saturday with Habitat for Humanity. Let's build a house together. Let's go zip lining, but let's do fun things, different things, away from the bar, but yet you can get a little bit of a taste of the person's personality.
When you get to know people on a deeper level, it becomes a lot easier to refer them business. You know, you meet people that you know are good in business and you would be happy to give them business. But when you've actually been to their home or done an event with them or gone on vacation or gotten to know them as friends, you don't realize it, but you actually, in a much more active way, try to find business for them. It's kind of, if you've ever read Ken Blanchard's Raving Fan, it's almost like when you get to know people better, you become a more raving fan. So not only am I going to refer you when someone asks, but I'm going to go out and sell your product for you in ways you don't even know, because I know and like and trust you, and now I really want to help you. And that's what we try to encourage, is that sort of, you know, let me really help you in your business any way I can.
Okay. Very good. Where do you see Original Tuesdays going from here, from now?
Well, expanding more within the United States itself, going more global. The global thing is interesting. The awareness is interesting. I had a friend in St. Petersburg, Florida. He says, "What's going on with this?" And he started Original Third Tuesdays in St. Petersburg, Florida. The interesting thing, he developed a partnership with the Chamber of Commerce that's there. The benefit is it's a win-win situation. That's the best thing about this whole thing. It's a win-win situation. The chamber gets to have a monthly event that they're affiliated with. There's a lot of media buzz about it. They've gotten some press down there and things. And I see it expanding with that and taking on additional different partners. Most of the partners that we have been through Angie's Action Coach franchise. But expanding it even more and getting other partners involved.
Yeah, we'd love to see every city in the world have a Tuesday event, be it the first, second, third, or fourth Tuesday. You know, and I could see it down the road becoming this global phenomenon where, you know, as a business person, wherever you are, there's going to be a Tuesday event that you can go and meet some new people. It's great when you move, right? You move to a new location, you don't know how to get connected in the community. It'd be nice if you could just show up and casually meet a couple hundred people right from the start. And I used to be kind of a traveling salesperson, and I have to tell you, as a traveling business person, it would be nice to go to a friendly place when I was in a strange city and grow my network that way. So that would be a nice direction to see it grow in.
The vision would be is, say you're traveling, you're in a city, and it's Tuesday. Let me go to the website. Let me see if they have any functions, any original Tuesday events in this city. And the more and more you can do that, it just increases the family. And as long as, again, if you're doing good things come back.
Definitely. A bit like the Rotary Club.
Yeah.
Where they have this event, but if you miss a meeting, you can still go. I guess you can make it a point where if they miss a meeting on Tuesday, they got to catch up somewhere else.
There you go.
Well, we try to make it low key. You know, there's no pressure.
I'm not saying start marking off who showed, did not show, and report them.
I know when you come and when you don't, but I let it slide.
You know, that's true. And one of the challenges as being a free event, people sign up and don't show. You understand that something comes up or. But we track everything. We ask people when they come in for a business card. Well, I've already given you my business card. Well, we use it to keep track, and Angie's developed a system and a process of tracking so we can tell who's been and how many times they've been. And it's good to know. When we had our first year, we had people, there was 3 people that had been to every original Tuesday's event. Wow. And we celebrated, we promoted it. We had over 426 people at Clyde's. Clyde's came to us afterwards and said, you know, we can't do this anymore. We're a restaurant and there's just too many people. And so it toned down a little bit.
Like any business, you can only manage what you measure. And so we do measure how many people come to every event and how frequently people come. And if we see the numbers start to slide off, then we increase the marketing. If we see that somebody has come, you know, regularly and all of a sudden they don't come anymore, we reach out and say, why don't you come anymore? Because you know, the mistake in business is not tracking your numbers. And so, you know, we've always tracked the numbers right from the start so that if we need more people to come, we dial up the marketing. If when we hit 400 and some people and the restaurant can't handle that crowd, we tone down the marketing. So that we can kind of keep a good steady crowd there. It's not that the crowd's maintaining it, we are. And we're maintaining it because we're measuring who comes and who doesn't come and how many people have been to every event.
One of the secrets of is the partnership that Angie and I have with this event. We have different responsibilities. I really truly believe that it would be too much for one person. We got together because of knowing each other and moving forward with that, and then we enlisted the help of the restaurant. But you know, she has certain things that are on her agenda to do. I have certain things that are on my agenda. So we split the duties, and it makes it a lot easier. Otherwise, it's very difficult. We found when we started, when we asked.
We changed something because we split the duties by who's better at what. You know, we're not forcing ourselves into boxes we don't fit in. You know, Ron is a great big picture guy, not the most detail-oriented person in the world, so I keep the statistics. You know, but he arranges the volunteers and he gets the photographers there and he does the outreach. And there were times, because we did shift some duties, because there have been times when I'm like, I'm doing too much. I need some help, and can you take this? Or, you know, he's like, hey, I don't really like doing that. Can you take this? And so, like, you know, it's a real business for us, even though it's not a money maker for us. And we do have systems in place to track things, and we do split the duties. We're not repeating each other's actions. And as good business partners, we know we can count on the other person to take care of their responsibility. I don't have to check up that Ron has gotten volunteers together, and he doesn't have to check up on my duties. We know it's happening, and we have a good trust relationship that way.
That's what we recommend too. I mean, we're always looking to grow in other cities, so if there are any partners out there at all.
Well, then your website is here.
Yeah,
The
so you
website
can
out
see
there,
it.
can see it, and then you can just contact them.
Yeah, but the thing is what we're looking for is we're looking for people that have a connection to the community. People that have, I think between the two of us, we had about 2,000 relevant connections with our Outlook, social media contacts and stuff. So we believe you should have a certain base to be able to promote it. But it does take an effort. It's not build it and they will come. You have to work it.
Well, and I think you mentioned one of the keys to our initial success is that it's not like we were unknown in the community when we started it. We were well-connected, successful business people already. And so we used the network we had at that time to get it off the ground. Now, it's probably tripled or quadrupled the size of our networks.
Sure.
In the time that it's been here, but I think if we had nobody in our database and we're just trying to spread it word by word, it would have been pretty hard to get it off the ground. But when we combined our database, we did have 1,000, 2,000 people in the database that we both knew, and that was kind of the key to the success to getting it started.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, it's hard to go out there and drum up all those people to invite and come to the first event.
You can't really walk up and down a busy street and say, please come to our event, please come to our event.
Now, one last question I have for you. How do you use social media to grow your what did you do exactly?
We use Facebook and LinkedIn. We have a LinkedIn group and a Facebook fan page, and we promote the events on there. So we, link to the events every single time.
We post photographs also.
We post photographs on the Facebook page, so people can go and look and tag themselves and see
Shows
themselves
up on
at the
other
event.
pages, and it just multiplies from there. Once a person's tagged and they're in another person's news feed.
We also use all the social calendars that are out there. So not only do we create a Facebook event and a LinkedIn event, but there are many calendar listings. There's Beltway Networking and Washington Business Organization. So I've kind of researched, and we find every single business calendar that we can that allows us to post, and we post links to the event. Eventbrite, which we use to host the registration, is extremely well optimized, and people do search in Eventbrite for events, so we use that as well. I mean, and we use Twitter, we tweet out the events. So LinkedIn, we post in groups, and groups that we belong to, so you can see. Any tool that's out there, we take advantage of, and there's no advantage to one over the other. You need to use them all. It's a net that you're casting. So.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of it's been too, the Chamber, Rockville Chamber has been supportive. Rockville Economic Development has been supportive, and it's a good event for them to post out to their people. There's an opportunity to meet other business people, other people, and the venue works. People want to know if it's B2B, is it all B2C? It's everything. It's an open networking event. There's people looking for a job. Some people have, the foresight to have some business cards printed out. Imagine that. You go to an event, and the people that don't have business cards, but then there's someone else that's looking for a job because he lost his job or whatever. He has his email, he has his cell phone. And it was interesting, on one, the gentleman's title was Career in Transition. But he was smart enough to have a contact instead of scribble it down on the back of the card. So it hones his skills.
I think what's kind of interesting about our event is we do have big social media networks, individually, and it actually allows us to combine our virtual world with some real networking. Because there's people I maybe know only through Facebook or LinkedIn that have then come to an event, and now I know them in person too, because you need to be, using all the tools available.
Okay, very good. We only have a minute left. I'd like to ask you, what advice would you give when it comes to networking to our viewers here? Want to start with you?
Networking is not about selling your product. And once you recognize that, you're a much better networker. If you approach networking with the idea that I'm going to go out here and meet some interesting people and see who I can help in their business, you'll be a much better networker.
Very good.
Follow up. Most people, when you get into a situation, like Angie was saying, it's always me, me, me. You may make a connection, but unless you follow up with them and grow that connection, it's a waste of time. It's just another happy hour. Yeah?
Well said. Well, I do want to thank you very much. Folks, you hear it, that is networking, and I very much like the idea that you went into it only to help people. Just you want to put it out there so people can have a place to go. I must say that personally, when I've been to your events several times, and I was very, very strongly impressed by that attitude.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very much, because I've never seen it, wasn't used to that. And how can you put on a big event, huge event, 200 people, and because the experience always, you say, well, maybe first time is free, and the next time somebody, their usual experience, which is, I'm not saying that is bad, but just being out there and just helping people, it was impressive, and it caught on, and as you say, I think what goes around comes around.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you're going to get a lot of blessing just by doing that. It's a fine organization. Now you have 12 of them. Who knows
Right.
how many you'll have very soon, maybe the whole world.
Exactly.
That's the vision.
I thank you very much. So I'm looking forward to seeing you next time here.
Thank you.
To the viewers, you have a very, very productive day, and then we'll be on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Thank you very much.